You are telling me with a straight face that this isn't the single greatest piece of physical comedy you have ever seen. The man isn't even looking at a reflection. He is looking at another human being. A cook, for heaven's sake, dressed up in his clothes, standing inside an empty mirror frame, mimicking his every move. It is absolute proper genius. It is the definition of timing. It is the definition of cinema.
It's a parlor trick, mate. That's what it is.
The parlor trick.
It's a vaudeville routine that belongs in a dusty stage in 1905, not on a cinema screen. You're acting like you discovered fire. It's a mirror gag. The Marx Brothers did it. Bugs Bunny did it. It's been done to death.
They do it after him. That is the entire point. You are looking at the original blueprint and calling it a copy. This is Max Linder. He is the source. He is the fountainhead. And in 7 Years Bad Luck, specifically this scene, he basically invents the language of modern film acting.
Invents the language. Oh, here we go. You sound like a first-year film student who's just discovered French cinema and decided to annoy everyone at the pub.
It's true.
It's a bit obvious, isn't it? Oh, look, I raise my hand, you raise your hand. It's not exactly high art. It's a bit, I don't know, pantomime. It's a bit simplistic for genius, isn't it?
Pantomime. It is precise choreography. But fine, if you want to be cynical about it, which I know is your default setting, look at this image here from the archives. The one with the magnifying glass.
Oh, right. The stock photo of a magnifying glass. Fascinating visuals we've got here. Very compelling stuff.
No, think about the metaphor. The source material uses this image for a reason. It represents the need to look closer, to zoom in on the details. Because if you just glance at Max Linder, like you're doing, you might miss the subtlety. You might miss the restraint.
I reckon the magnifying glass is there because without one, you'd never find anyone who actually remembers this film. You need a search party to find a Max Linder fan in the 21st century.
Cinema, the magic vehicle, a comprehensive guide. Journey 1, 1913 to 1950.
That is fighting talk. Absolute fighting talk. We are talking about 7 Years Bad Luck, released in 1921, written, directed, and starring the one and only Max Linder. This is high art, disguised as slapstick. It is a masterpiece of the silent era that has been criminally overlooked by people like you who only want to see a guy get hit in the face with a brick.
High art. The title is 7 Years Bad Luck, which is exactly what it feels like to sit through it if you're not in the mood for a French guy preening. It's ironic, isn't it? You watch it and you feel cursed.
Unbelievable. You are determined to hate this. My mission today, no, my duty is to prove to you and to anyone listening who's been poisoned by your cynicism that Max Linder is the father of all comedy. Chaplin, Keaton. They don't exist without Max. They are shadows of this man.
And my mission is to bring you back down to earth. Max Linder was a failed experiment, specifically in America. He was a guy who tried to translate a very specific, very niche style to a global audience, and it just didn't work. He's not the father of comedy. He's the weird uncle that nobody talks about because he wears spats and drinks sherry at 10 a.m.
Okay, let's go back. Let's actually look at the history before you dismiss a legend. We need to set the stage properly. Max Linder, born 1883 in France.
A long time ago.
He started at Pathé in 1905. Now, you have to understand the context of 1905 cinema. It was chaos. It was novelty. The source material is very clear on this. Max Linder is probably the first real film actor, not just a clown, an actor, because he understood that the camera was different from the stage. He understood the scale of it.
Hold on. First real film actor. That is a massive claim. And it's rubbish.
How is it rubbish?
The man started in the theater in 1903. He was a stage actor. He didn't just spawn out of a film reel. He was doing big theatrical gestures because that's what he knew. He was playing pretend on camera, just like everyone else at the time. You're projecting modern standards onto a guy who was just trying to make sure the back row could see him.
But that's where you're wrong. The source specifically says he understood the essence of the cinematic portrayal of character earlier than anyone else. While everyone else was flailing their arms about like windmills, which is the style, the grimace style, Max was doing less. He was doing vivid but never extravagant gesture. That is the key phrase, never extravagant. He contained the energy.
Never extravagant. Have you seen the way he dresses? The man is a walking extravagance. Let's talk about this distinctive screen personality you're so obsessed with. What is he? He's a young man, immaculately dressed, morning coat, top hat, lacquered shoes, and a cane. He looks like he's on his way to a wedding that he's not invited to. He looks like the kind of bloke who would complain that his champagne is too cold.
It's called elegance. It's the Boulevardier style. He's a dandy. It's about class in both senses of the word.
He's stuffy. That's what he is. He's a rich bachelor dandy. How is that relatable? Look at Chaplin. The tramp. He's poor. He's hungry. He's struggling. You root for him because you've been hungry or you've been broke. Who roots for a guy in lacquered shoes and a silk top hat? It's alien. That's the word the source uses, and it's spot on. His vibe is alien to the common man. He looks like the landlord coming to collect rent, not the hero.
It's aspirational, and it's a contrast. That's the comedy. To see someone so composed, so dignified, getting into absolute shambles of situations, that is the funny part. If a tramp falls in the mud, it's sad. It's expected. If a man in a morning coat falls in the mud, it's hilarious. It's the subversion of dignity.
Or it's just tragic. It feels like watching a banker trip over. You don't laugh. You just check if he dropped any money. It creates a distance. I don't care if Max gets the girl or gets out of the jam, because Max looks like he could just buy his way out of it.
You are missing the nuance. The source talks about his restraint and simplicity. Max didn't need to throw a pie in someone's face to get a laugh. He could do it with a look. He wrote his own scripts. Did you know that? He was an auteur before the word existed.
I did know that, and I'm not sure it's a compliment. Sometimes you need an editor to say, Max, maybe fewer scenes of you adjusting your cufflinks.
It shows he had an amazing feel for the rhythm of the new medium. He understood that film needed a different pacing than the stage. It's a skillful mixture of humor and understatement.
There's that word again, understatement. In my experience, when people describe a comedy as understated, it usually means not funny. Comedy needs energy. It needs a spark. Restraint is just a polite word for boring. You can have all the fine rhythm in the world, mate, but if nobody is laughing, it's just a metronome. You're watching a metronome in a top hat.
People were laughing. He was a massive star in Europe. He was the highest paid star in the world at one point.
In Europe.
Yeah.
Key words there. A bit French.
Oh, don't start with that. That is lazy stereotyping.
I'm just saying. The source backs me up here. Let's look at the American connection. Max Sennett. The father of American slapstick. The guy who ran the asylum. He started Keystone in 1912. This is the guy who gave us the Keystone Cops, the pie in the face, the absolute anarchy of American film.
Right, and what did Max Sennett want to do? He resolved desperately to find someone who could follow Linder. He wanted a Max Linder. He was trying to clone him. He looked at his own factory of chaos and said, I need that elegance.
And he failed, which proves my point. Sennett had a stable of absolute legends. Harry Langdon, Roscoe Fatty Arbuckle, Larry Saman, and of course Charlie Chaplin. These guys are titans. And Sennett realized that Linder's style was, quote, difficult to imitate.
Exactly, because he was unique. You can't copy genius, you can copy a pratfall, you can copy a car crash, but you cannot copy the subtle raise of an eyebrow that implies an entire paragraph of dialogue.
Or, hear me out, he couldn't be imitated because his style didn't work in America. The source says it was alien to the American sense of humor. Americans wanted chaos. They wanted speed. They wanted anarchy. They didn't want a French guy in a top hat gently tapping his cane and raising an eyebrow. It was too niche. It was like trying to sell escargot at a hot dog stand.
It wasn't niche, it was sophisticated. And Linder didn't just stay in France. He crossed the Atlantic. 1921 to 1923, he came to Hollywood to show them how it was done. He made 3 features. 7 Years Bad Luck was the first one. It was a triumph.
Was it? Was it really a triumph? The source explicitly says these films were, quote, so French in character as to be almost imported productions. He didn't adapt. He just brought his luggage and his top hat and did the exact same thing in California. He didn't read the room.
He adapted a little bit. He made concessions. He was smart enough to know he had to bridge the gap.
Oh, go on then. What was his grand concession to American culture? What did he do to appeal to the masses?
Well, the source mentions he included chases with uniformed guardians of public order.
Police chases. Yeah. That's it. That is the most desperate thing I've ever heard.
It's not desperate.
Oh, the Americans aren't laughing at my subtle eyebrow raise. Quick, throw in a cop. Make him run after me.
Yeah.
It's pathetic. It's pandering. It's like a Michelin star chef deciding to put ketchup on everything just because the customers are American.
It's understanding the market. He blended his sophistication with the kinetic energy of Hollywood. And the result is 7 Years Bad Luck, which, I remind you, opens with one of the greatest sequences in history.
We're back to the mirror. Of course we are.
We are back to the mirror because it sets up everything. Let's break it down properly. I want to really get into the mechanics of this because you are dismissing it too easily. The setup. Max is a bachelor dandy.
Shocker.
And he is worse for wear after a stag party.
So he's hungover. A hungover rich bloke, again, hardly a sympathetic hero. Oh no, I drank too much champagne last night and now my head hurts. Cry me a river, Max. Most people in 1921 were worried about eating, and he's worried about a headache.
It's relatable. Everyone has had a rough morning. He's trying to get ready, and his valet, played by Ralph McCullough, is dallying with the maid.
Typical. Blame the staff. The rich guy's hungover, so the servants must be up to no good. It's always the help's fault, isn't it?
It's a plot point. The valet is distracted, and he accidentally smashes the full-length mirror, the one Max shaves in front of every morning. Panic sets in. Max is waking up. What do? This is the crucial moment.
They panic. They run around like headless chickens.
They realize the glass is gone, so the valet grabs the cook, Harry Man, and tells him to dress up like Max and stand in the frame.
Which is absurd. It's properly mental.
It is brilliant logic. In the heat of the moment, it's the only solution. So Max walks in. He's groggy. He looks in the mirror, and he sees himself. But it's the cook.
And this is where it falls apart for me. Max Linder is supposed to be this sharp, observant genius. And he can't tell that his reflection is a completely different human being. The cook doesn't even look like him. The cook's face is different. His build is different. It's like me looking in the mirror and seeing you. I'd notice.
He's hungover, and the cook is mimicking him perfectly. That is the performance. The source calls it a single gag beautifully developed. Watch the movements. Max raises a razor. The cook raises a razor. Max wipes his face. The cook wipes his face. It is a dance. It is a duet of timing. If the cook is off by a millisecond, the illusion breaks.
It relies entirely on the other actor. The cook is doing all the work. Max is just standing there looking confused. It's a duet where one person is singing and the other is just moving their lips. Why don't we talk about Harry Man? He's the genius here. He's the one doing the heavy lifting. Max is just the prop.
Max is guiding it. He's testing reality. He starts to suspect something is wrong, so he starts doing weird movements. He moves his hand fast. He spins around. He's testing the physics of the universe. And the cook matches him. It creates this incredible tension. And then the payoff, the moment of realization. Max figures it out. He realizes he's being tricked.
And how does our sophisticated, restrained gentleman hero react? Does he laugh? Does he applaud the effort? Does he say, "Good show, old chap"?
He throws a shoe at him.
Exactly. He throws a shoe at his cook. Violence. The mask of civility slips and he's just a violent, rich thug. But wait, it gets better.
He misses the cook.
And breaks the replacement mirror that they just put in.
It is the ultimate irony.
It's clumsy. So he's violent and he's clumsy. A proper role model, this guy. And that's where the title comes from. The valet, being a cheeky sod, says, "That's 7 years bad luck, mate."
And thus, the superstition kicks in. I love that narrative hook. It gives the film a structure. Everything that goes wrong from this point on is because of that broken mirror. It's fate. It adds a layer of metaphysical dread to the comedy.
Metaphysical dread. Are you having a laugh? It's a lazy plot device. It's not fate. It's just a writer realizing he needs a reason for a bunch of random things to happen. Why did the piano fall on him? Oh, bad luck. Why did the train leave without him? Bad luck. It's a get-out-of-jail-free card for screenwriting. It links a bunch of sketches that have nothing to do with each other.
It is not random. The source says the film has complete dramatic logic. Every scene flows into the next because Max is trying to escape this curse.
Dramatic logic. Are you serious? Let's talk about the dramatic logic of the misadventures, because the plot is absolute mental. It's a shambles.
It is a series of escalating challenges.
It's chaos involving Betty, the fiancée. Poor Alta Allen. She has to put up with this maniac.
Right.
Let's talk about the dog incident. I want to talk about the dog.
Oh, the dog. That was cheeky.
Cheeky. Max puts Betty's beloved dog in a bowl of water. A vase. He stuffs the living animal into a vase.
He was trying to hide it. He was in a panic. It's farce. The dog wasn't hurt. It's the visual absurdity of a dog's head popping out of a Ming vase.
It's animal cruelty, mate. That's not funny. That's just mean. If I went to my girlfriend's house and stuffed her poodle in a flower pot, I wouldn't get a laugh track. I'd get a restraining order. It shows a lack of empathy, a lack of soul.
You are taking it too literally. It's the absurdity of the image. The dog was fine. It's a cartoon logic in a live-action world.
And then there's the maid scandal.
A misunderstanding.
He gets caught dancing with the maid and the valet at the same time.
He was celebrating. He thought his luck had turned. He thought the curse was broken, so he grabbed the nearest people and danced. It shows his joy.
He's a shambles. Why is Betty marrying him again? He's hungover, he throws shoes at staff, he drowns dogs, and he's dancing with the help while she's waiting in the other room. He's a nightmare boyfriend. If this was a modern film, it would be a drama about a toxic relationship.
Well, because he has charm. He has irrepressible energy and enterprise. That's what the source says. No matter how bad it gets, Max keeps going. He doesn't wallow. He invents solutions. like the train ride.
Oh, God, the train ride.
This is a master class. Max has his wallet stolen. He has to get to Betty's aunt's house. He gets on the train without a ticket.
So he's a thief now. A rich thief. He could probably write a check, but no, let's defraud the railway system.
He performs miracles of ingenuity to avoid the conductor. He hides under seats. He disguises himself. He climbs on the roof. It is a cascade of marvelous gags. The physicality here is undeniable. He is climbing on a moving train.
It's anxiety-inducing. It's just a man sweating and running away from a ticket collector for 20 minutes.
Yeah.
It's not funny. It's stressful. And again, it relies on everyone else being an idiot. The conductor must be blind not to see a man in the top hat crawling under a seat.
But the source makes a crucial point here. This sequence was much imitated later, specifically by Charles Chaplin and Buster Keaton. They saw Max doing this and said, "That's how you do a train gag." You love Keaton's The General, don't you?
The General's a masterpiece.
Well, The General owes a debt to 7 years' bad luck. Max laid the track pun intended for Keaton to run on.
Or they saw it and said, we can do that, but actually make it funny. Keaton made the train a character. Linder just used it as a jungle gym.
You are impossible. What about the false friend character, F.B. Crane?
Cliché. The villain trying to steal the girl. Wah ha ha ha, I shall marry Betty. It's cardboard. It's mustache-twirling nonsense without the mustache.
It provides conflict. It gives Max a human antagonist to balance out the metaphysical antagonist of bad luck.
It provides a nap time. Every time Crane is on screen, I'm checking the score of the football game.
Look, the narrative pace increases constantly. Linder introduces these smaller gags and builds them up. It's a crescendo, and it leads to a happy ending.
That's it.
Yes. Max gets the girl. The bad luck is over. The source describes it beautifully. Max's misadventures give way to 7 years' perfect happiness with his new wife and rapidly increasing brood of children.
Rapidly increasing brood of children. That sounds like a horror movie. 7 years perfect happiness sounds suspicious. And completely unrealistic given that 40 minutes ago he was throwing footwear at his employees. He hasn't learned anything. He hasn't grown. He hasn't become a better person. He just survived.
He doesn't need to grow. He's Max. That is the point of the character. He is buoyant. He floats above the bad luck. He is the eternal optimist in the face of a universe that wants to crush his top hat.
He floats because his head is empty. He's a cork.
You are ignoring the legacy. We have to talk about the legacy, because even if you hate the film, which is a sign of poor taste, by the way, you cannot deny the influence. You simply cannot.
I can and I will. Watch me.
The source is explicit. Chaplin borrowed Linder's cane. Adolphe Menjou borrowed his personality. All later comedians owe him something. That is a direct quote. You are arguing with history now.
Talent borrows, genius steals. Chaplin might have looked at the cane and said, nice stick, but then he did something with it. Linder used the cane as a prop to look fancy. Chaplin used the cane as a limb. It was an extension of his soul. It was a crutch, a weapon, a toothpick, a flirtation device. Linder just held it. Linder is the draft. Chaplin is the masterpiece. You don't hang the rough sketch in the Louvre, do you?
Without the draft, there is no masterpiece. You don't get the Sistine Chapel without the sketches. And what about Harold Lloyd? The source compares them directly.
Harold Lloyd is brilliant, safety last, iconic, hanging from the clock. That is cinema.
But the source says Linder is better because he lacks that irritating self-confidence of Harold Lloyd. Linder avoids sentimentality. He is never heartless, but he's not sappy. He doesn't look at the camera with big, sad eyes begging you to love him. He maintains his dignity.
Hold on. Irritating self-confidence. That is what makes a star. That is American optimism. Harold Lloyd hanging off a clock is funny because he believes he can do it. He's the little guy taking on the world. Linder just sort of drifts through things, and avoiding sentimentality, that just makes him cold. Chaplin breaks your heart. Lloyd makes you cheer. Linder just makes you check your watch.
It makes him sophisticated. He doesn't beg for your pity. He respects the audience enough not to emotionally manipulate them.
He doesn't get my pity. He gets my indifference. I don't care about him. If he falls off a train, I'm not worried. I just assume his insurance will cover it.
Okay, answer me this. If he was such a failed experiment, why does the source say that Linder's variant of screen comedy did work in the American environment?
Read the rest of the sentence. It says it might have been expected to find many imitators. Key words. Might have been expected. It's hypothetical. But guess what? This did not happen.
Because he was unique.
No, because nobody wanted to be him. If something works in Hollywood, everybody copies it. Within a week, there are 10 knockoffs. Nobody copied Linder because the studios looked at the box office and said, yeah, let's not do the French dandy thing again. Let's stick to the guys throwing pies.
René Clair copied him. Pierre Étai copied him.
They're French directors. You have to go back to France to find his legacy. René Clair, sure. Pierre Ete, 40 years later. And even the source admits Ete only had partial success. So even the people who tried to copy him didn't quite make it work. The lineage is a dead end, mate.
You are so focused on the box office. I am talking about the art form. Max Linder brought a lightness, a charm, a complete dramatic logic to the screen. He brought a European sensibility to a rough-and-tumble American medium.
Complete dramatic logic.
Yeah.
It's still stuck on that. A man puts a dog in a vase. Logic.
You are hopeless. Listen, the source sums it up perfectly. It says 7 Years Bad Luck is a classical screen comedy, and it urges you, the listener, the viewer, to open your eyes and heart.
Oh, please. Open your eyes and heart. It sounds like a greeting card. It sounds like something you'd read on a poster in a dentist's waiting room.
It means you have to be willing to see the magic. You are watching it with your arms crossed, looking for flaws. You're watching it like an accountant auditing a tax return.
I'm watching it with my eyes open, looking for jokes.
They are there. You just need to appreciate the subtlety.
If I have to bring a magnifying glass, like your little picture there, to find the joke, it's not a very good joke. A joke should hit you. It shouldn't require a thesis to understand.
It is about the texture of the film, the visual style, the editing.
It's a historical curiosity. That's the verdict.
Yeah.
It's a museum piece. You watch it to see what people found funny in 1921, and then you say, wow, we've come a long way, and you put on a Buster Keaton film.
No. You watch it because it is joyous. Because Max is a delight.
Max is a man in a top hat falling over.
You are reducing a genius to a caricature. You are stripping away all the context, all the history, all the brilliance.
I'm reducing him to what he put on the screen. I'm calling it like I see it.
Okay, let's wrap this up before I throw my shoe at you.
Don't you dare. You'll break the mirror behind the bar.
Very funny. Look, final verdict, 7 Years Bad Luck. For me, it is essential viewing. It is the bridge between the chaotic slapstick of the early days and the sophisticated character comedies that came later. It is charming, it is light, and yes, the mirror scene is proper genius. It is a film that rewards attention.
Final verdict.
It's
fine. It's interesting. If you're a film student, watch it. If you're a historian, watch it. If you just want to laugh, go watch The General. Go watch Modern Times. Max Linder is a footnote. A well-dressed footnote, but a footnote.
A footnote who wrote the book.
He wrote the preface, then the Americans wrote the rest of the book.
Okay, here is a provocative thought for you to chew on while you nurse that pint. If Max Linder hadn't come to America, if he hadn't made that trip in 1921, would modern comedy even exist? Think about it. Chaplin, Keaton, Lloyd, they all saw him. They all took something. If he stays in Paris, maybe Hollywood's slapstick stays just clowns hitting each other with sticks. Maybe we never get the sophistication. Maybe the entire evolution of the sitcom, of the romantic comedy, never happens because the seed wasn't planted in Hollywood soil.
Yes, it would still exist. It would just have fewer top hats. We would have figured it out. Funny is funny. Someone else would have come along. Maybe not with a cane, maybe not with a morning coat, but we would have got there. You think Americans wouldn't have figured out how to be funny without a Frenchman showing them? That's bold.
You have no romance in your soul. You are a barren wasteland of cynicism.
I have reality in my soul, mate. And the reality is I'm empty. Who's buying?
You are. You insulted the genius. You pay the penance.
I spoke the truth. The truth isn't free, but neither is this beer.
7 years bad luck for you, my friend. 7 years of warm beer and cold chips.
It's like it's already started.
Rubbish. Absolute rubbish.
Let's go.
After you, mind the mirror on the way out.
Very funny.